Today, we're talking about comfort and how comfort can be a beautiful trap that can set you back years. Let's get started with this episode. So my name is Harvey Newman, and I like to share my passion here for animation with all of you. Here you can actually learn a lot about what it is like to actually work in games as an animator professionally, and also you can have interviews with really cool people and fellow animators and much more. Now if you like this video, consider subscribing and also pressing the like button. I hope we actually can get a ton of likes for this video, fingers crossed, so more people can actually see it and learn about animation. Also, make sure to actually check out my website, harveynewman.com, where I actually have a workshop that caters for all those that want to learn animation or want to improve their animation skills and much more. Now, let's get started with this episode. So comfort is something that I would like to talk to you guys today, because I think there's a big correlation between the people that make it into animation and the people that don't. And I think right in between, there's like a line of comfort. People that actually are willing to actually do whatever it takes to get there, and the people that are actually comfortable and they still want to get there, but unfortunately don't make it. And I've been there before, and I want to share with you guys exactly what those experiences were, so hopefully it helps you to actually kind of like make the step and work hard to get to it, because it's worth it. It really is. The first example that I have for you guys was when I was actually working retail back in London. I was actually working retail for a long time. I don't know how long it was. I think must have been about 6 years. Maybe nearly 8. I don't know. It was a long time that I was working retail in different ways, right? Like I actually worked in shops. I also worked as a waiter for a long time as well, for quite a long period of time, doing silver service for rich people. Not a good job. So what I want to say is basically that when I was working in retail, I felt very comfortable in the job, because what happened was that I would come in every morning at a certain time, either open the shop or help set up the shop for the day, and then I would just like stay there and I receive customers and like give them information about products and help them out in the best way I can, and then go home. And this is not to knock anybody that works in retail. Much props to you. It was awesome to actually get to meet people, new people every day, and like kind of socializing and stuff. That was great. But to me specifically, I felt at that specific time, because I was working with like some really good mates. Shout out to Shaban, because he was one of my best mates back then. And Arif as well. Arif was like an amazing mate as well. So we were homies. We were like working together and also having a ball working together. And to me, I felt super comfortable in that job, because I was working in a job that was paying me enough to pay the rent. And I also was working with my mates. These people that I would actually gladly hang out outside of work and have a drink, no problem at all. And it just felt very consistent as well, right? I mean, you go to work, every single day is consistent, you get the same amount of customers roughly, and then you know your stuff about the products that you're selling and you give the information to the customers. You go home, next day is the same thing. Now, that lasts for a while, and then after like maybe, I think it was like a couple of years that I worked there, I started feeling very much like Groundhog Day. I felt like if my life would go that way, would continue going that way, I would actually end up in a place that I wouldn't like. And the reason why is because I always wanted to be an artist. So I was drawing at home and like still kind of practicing and stuff, but during my daytime I was doing something completely different that was very comfortable. So for me, that dynamic really worked. So that was the first time that I was thought to myself, being off balance might be a good thing instead of being comfortable. But that day or that time was not the one that actually kind of like made it sink in my mind, because I continued working there for a while, and then I continued jumping jobs. I had plenty of the other jobs. I worked in a game shop for a while and all that stuff. And to me, it kind of felt like I can still do this. Let's see how it goes. The second part of this equation of being comfortable was when I started working in QA. So I worked in QA as well for a few years, 6 years, 5 years, I think. And that was like in between studying. So I was studying full time and I was working full time, and the work that I was doing full time was actually QA. And that's once again another job that is incredibly comfortable. And for me, it was like, this is the dream. You get to sit there and play games every single day of the week and you get paid for it. So this is like better than retail now, right? So I was comfortable and I was still playing games with my mates. And some of the people that actually worked with me back then are still some of my best friends. It was so much fun working with them. We were playing games, working hard. At the same time, we were playing hard, you know, and it just felt great. It felt really, really cool, and I felt comfortable. I felt great. And there was one moment that knocked me off balance and made the coin drop, where I was working at Sega at that point, and the QA manager, the change management and stuff, and I was fired. No apparent reason, I was fired, and then they just told me like, we don't need you anymore, see you later. So I went from having a job and being comfortable to then having no job, and then I got home, and on the same day, my landlord evicted me. He said, in a week's time, you need to be gone because I need my place back. That was one of the worst days that I had to face, because I was facing being homeless and jobless on the same day. And that's the first time that the penny dropped, that it actually really felt like being off balance is where I need to be, because being comfortable is now going to take me to the place that I need to be, because I'm disposable at this point. And that word is really important for you guys to know. Being disposable. If you are in a job, retail, QA, I'm not saying QA is disposable for everybody, because QA, they guys are awesome, but are jobs that are easy to replace, right? Because everyone wants to work in games and play games. So like Sega obviously knew that if they were to dismiss me, there would be like a line of people out there just wanting to get my job. So they would like just pick somebody else and then put him on my seat. Good times. Same thing with retail. Like if you actually were to stop, the amount of learning that you have to do in order to get to work in retail and work on a shop is not really steep. So you can just get somebody in a few weeks, a month or two, the person will be functional and they are working in the job and you're good to go. So being disposable is not a good feeling. And that's exactly how I felt that day. I felt disposable and I felt like my skills really don't matter here. So I need to do something more skillful so I'm not disposable to other people. So that was when the penny dropped and I started thinking about doing things in a different way. This actually took me to my other job that I got, which was like semi-in games, working for mobile games at that point. And that was when WAP and 3G first started. Was way back in the day. You didn't have any iPhones. You had like a smartphone portal. I don't know if you guys remember that, but those were good times. And I always wanted to get a job in an office, and I finally got a job in an office working and just like being the same as everybody else, which was really, really cool. To me, it was like amazing. And at that point in time, I was actually really, really comfortable as well, because my manager, which was this guy called Aaron, shout out to Aaron, I learned a lot from him. And also Neil was Aaron's manager. So it was the three of us kind of like running this small company called Harvey, which is a German company. And we were like basically like the UK office. And we were having fun because we were having a lot of meetings. I felt important. I used to have a lot of meetings. I used to actually have to take decisions. My salary was quite high. And I felt good. I felt like I had a career here. Wait a second. I can actually work in an office and work for a company that has vast resources. I was traveling to Germany every so often, being put in nice hotels. And then at some point, my direct boss left. And they told me like, Harvey, you're doing a good job. So you can have his job and get his salary, and it was going to be like 20 grand more a year than I was earning at that time. And I was like this is insane, this is amazing. So I was genuinely considering continuing in that career, and they were ready to actually kind of like make me like travel even further and go to nice places and restaurants at the end of the day because of the meetings. It felt easy, it felt good, and you used to get swag, so much swag, because it was mobile games. So whenever you go to a publisher so they can sell you their game because they wanted their game in our portal, then basically they go like, oh, here's some swag, here's some freebies. And it felt good. I had pretty much all games every year, all the time. It was amazing. So super comfortable. However, When I got them that promotion, when they told me that they could pay me this much and it was going to be like much more and stuff like that, that's basically when the other penny dropped, that I kind of realized I need to get out of here. Because at that point in time I was like, I want to be an animator, I know what I want to do and I know where I want to be at, but I want these things that are happening here in this company, in this industry, to happen in animation. I don't want it to happen here, because I could feel clearly that I was diverging into this path that I didn't want it to be. In 20 years from now, I was going to be the guy that was the head of the German company somewhere. I was going to have an amazing suit and nice cars and lots of money, but I was going to be not happy with my job. And I'm like, I need to do a change here, massive change, and really kind of like set in stone what I want to do. So I started working extra hard, getting out of my comfort zone to work on my animation. So I used to work from 7 o'clock in the morning to about 8 or 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening in Narvato in this company. And then I used to spend the rest of the time, go home, have dinner about 9 p.m. I used to work from 9 p.m. until about 3 a.m. in my animation, in my show reel. I worked really hard for about 2 or 3 years, and eventually I got my first job in animation. I had to take a pay cut of about 25 grand a year in order to actually start animating. And that was incredibly dangerous and scary, and I felt like I had cold sweats, because the more money you earn, the more you start living a certain way. So to have to say no to all the things that you're doing to go back to a basic salary because you don't have any experience was really scary. However, had I not taken that choice or that chance back then, I would not be where I am now, which I consider myself someone fulfilled, someone happy, and someone that actually have made my dreams come true when it comes to actually becoming an animator, being a professional artist. All those things would not happen. So this video is for all those out there that are working jobs that they don't want to work on and they want to be animators instead. Continue believing and actually do the extra grind. Be uncomfortable, right? Because being comfortable in your job, in your grind every day, and having excuses as in like you are too tired to do this thing, shouldn't be really an excuse, because you need to snap yourself out of whatever path you are about to go into, right? So in order for me to actually snap myself out of that path that I was comfortable in, I had to make extra work happen on my days off, on my time off, in order to kind of like go somewhere else, right? It's not going to happen to you if you don't actually put extra work in your passion, in the thing that you want to do. That's basically the choice that you have here. You either continue the way you are going right now, or you do extra work to make sure that you actually can go somewhere else and be someone better, or someone that you want to be, I should say. That's it. That's the message here. I hope that helps you. Don't be comfortable. Don't be that guy that actually kind of is 60, 70 years old, and you will look back and you're like, oh, I wish at 20 years, 30 years ago I had made that choice. Also, very important, it's never too late for you. Never ever too late for you. I started my career in animation when I was like nearly 30. And that 30 is late, because most students out of university get animation in jobs nowadays. 30 is very late. So I know animators that have started their careers in their 40s, and it's fine. 50s, doesn't matter what it takes, as long as you can spend the time of your day earning money by doing something that you're passionate about. That's all it counts, really. There's no perfect age for you to start. Just start and then be happy about it. That's all I had for you guys today. For all those that don't know, I have a Patreon. These are my Patreons right here that have been supporting me, and I'm really thankful to them. Thank you for everybody that has been supporting me so far. If you guys would like to actually check out my Patreon, I have a lot of behind the scenes and awesome stuff that happens. Go and check it out. There's loads of perks, loads of good stuff for you guys, and I would highly appreciate if you guys consider donating. If not, and you can't do it, watching these videos, subscribing and pressing the like button also helps me a ton. That's all I had. I hope you guys stay well, stay safe. Peace.